My name is Enenche. I'll be your anchorman here this evening. As we progress with the program, we'd like to renew our allegiance to the green white banner. Can you please be on our feet for the words of Ben Odiase as we stand for the national anthem of Nigeria. We shall sing after the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, sing. Thank you very much. God bless Nigeria. Please put your hands together for Nigeria as you take your seats. All right, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. We'd like to introduce to you our chairman this evening officially. She's a great woman, a business magnate, an author. A woman who is the first to occupy the office, the first woman to occupy the office she's occupying now. All the women in the house, please clap for her. She has shown that rare quality of the Nigerian woman. The type Margaret Echo and Fubila Ramsibuti had when they added their voices to break down the Union Jack. And so the green white banner went up. And that rare strength, we saw the likes of Dora Koili, Mary Onyale, Choma Ajuma, when they stretched beyond number to register Nigeria on the World Olympic medal table. We have a chairman here this evening, a woman with great philanthropic credentials, a woman of great heart, the president of the National Association of Chambers of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture, NASIMA. Please respectfully, let's welcome our chairman here this evening. Make her feel welcome. If the men are not clapping, please, the women, I want the occasion to come represent more. Yalode Alaba Lawson, member of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Please put your hands together for my chairman. Also, a man we are watching attending his inauguration here this evening as the 10th president of the ABUJA Chamber of Commerce. Is a man that has served Nigeria well. Serving Nigeria in foreign ministry is something that is will go a long way in inspiring the generation coming behind. A lawyer by profession, a service provider to humanity by passion. He delivered when he was the Minister of Culture and Tourism, Defense, Labor, and Attorney General of the Federation, and no doubt he will deliver as the President of ABUJA Chamber of Commerce. Please let's make welcome here this evening Prince Adetokunbo, Adeyinka, Kayode, Commander of the Niger and Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Omoba. And now to take us here this evening, we'd like to welcome for the welcome remarks by the Chairman Planning Committee. But before the names are coming in, and I'll be doing justice to the name, we have P.E. Ehujo, Mrs., representing the Minister of Federal Ministry of State, Industry, Trade, and Investment. Please put your hands together for her. Make her feel welcome. Names are coming in. We have the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board, Engineer Simbi Kesiye Wabonte, Executive Secretary. We have Chief Sheyi Lufadeju, a President, Nigeria American Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Please put your hands together for him. We have in the house the National President of the Nigeria Association of Small. Okay, how it's written here. National President, Nigeria Association of Small and Industries, Engineer Essien, is here with us. Please put your hands together for him. All right, to take us further here this evening, we're moving straight to item number 3 on our program, and that is a welcome address by the Chairman Planning Committee. Let's make welcome to the microphone Chief Emeka Obegolu, Esquire, 2nd VP, Abuja Chamber of Commerce.
Your Excellency, the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory represented, Your Excellencies, the representative of the President of the Senate, the representative of the Speaker of the House of Representatives, the President of Nasima Yalode, Past President of the Senate, Chief Ken Namani, members of the Diplomatic Corps, members of the Nasima Executive here present, representatives of ministers of the federal government here present, very learned senior advocates of Nigeria, members of the executive of the Abuja Chamber of Commerce and Industry, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Let me, on behalf of the Abuja Chamber of Commerce and Industry, welcome you to an event that holds every 3 years. The 10th President of the Abuja Chamber of Commerce and Industry will be inaugurated today to mount the historic throne as the voice of the business community in the Federal Capital Territory. The mandate we are gathered here to place on Prince Adetokunbo Kayode is to be the leader and the voice of the organized private sector in the FCT. For us, in the Chamber of Commerce, it is indeed a new dawn. It is a new dawn because we are inaugurating a man who has served his country in several capacities and creditably so. We are inaugurating a man who has attained the highest rank in his profession. We are inaugurating a man who has shown commitment and uncommon dedication to the business development and creating of jobs in the Federal Capital Territory of Nigeria. So for us, it is, like I said, a new dawn. We look forward with hope that the Chamber of Commerce, after 3 years, will not be the same again. We look forward with belief that the Chamber of Commerce is in good hands. So I welcome you and I charge you to please make yourself welcome as we look forward to a good evening. Thank you so very much and enjoy your evening.
We'd like to recognize the presence of our distinguished Senator Fatima Turaji Rasaki, representing the Senate President of the Republic of Nigeria. Please put your hands together for her. Thank you. Also like to recognize the presence of Honorable Taufik Abdul Salam, Honorable Commissioner for Works, Ondo State, representing the Ondo State Governor. We'd like to recognize the presence also of Babangida Abba Damari, Deputy Director, PPRS Department, National Sugar Development Council. All right, to take us further is the chairman's remarks. Like I told you earlier, a great mother with great heart great large heart, a woman with delivered from her classroom and to the business field. She has delivered and has made Nigeria and African woman proud. Please join me as I welcome to the microphone our chairman for our chairman's remarks. Please be clapping. If the men are not clapping, the women please clap for one of yours. Let's make welcome Kayode Alaba Lawson, MFR, Kayode of Yoruba land. And very soon she will be the Kayode of Nigeria. Those of you from Talemia, you say, ah. Those of you against you on your own, the eyes have it. Let's make welcome Kayode of Africa, Kayode Alaba Lawson, MFR, our chairman this evening for our remarks. Man.
Thank you so much. What can we say unto the Lord? All we have to say is to say, thank you, Father, thank you, Father. All the federal might executives here this evening, I want to say my darling sister, Chief Mrs. Fatima Rasaki, the wife of our former governor in Ogun State, and is now representing the Senate President tonight. We thank you so much for finding time to come here today. God bless you. I want to also, I would have said all protocols duly observed, but let's give honor to whom honor is due. I want to also recognize the former Senate President, Chief Kenunamani. During his tenure, I was able to get the approval of the Odua Chambers of Commerce. I was the president then. The Odua Chambers of Commerce approval for our international trade fair. Sir, publicly I acknowledge you today. God bless you, sir. He rolled out that red carpet for me when Papa Obasanjo said, you better go to the Senate if they give you the approval. When I came back, Baba said, you have too long hair, bro. How did you come about it? I said, Baba, we won because of the Senate President gave us that approval. We are grateful to you today. The diplomatic calls from different embassies this evening, we are grateful for coming here. Different chambers of commerce, FEWASI, Federation of West African Chambers of Commerce, we acknowledge you. Captains of industries, from our colleagues, all other businesses, directors, presidents of chambers of commerce, and last but not the least, my first deputy president, a lady who is going to take over me after what I have done, and that is Ajia Saratu Yadi. Ajia, you are welcome. And then that man from the east, the second deputy, Ide Udiabala, the second deputy president of Nasima. We are very democratic. After I must have left from the west, the lady from the north will come in, and then also from the east. And so I want to recognize ABUJA Chambers of Commerce, the outgoing president, Tony Ejinkeoye, who has fought relentlessly to make today possible for us. And is handing over peacefully to the incoming one, my darling prince, Kayode Adetokunbo. They've already read all his accolades. I don't need to waste our time again. And his lovely wife, Mrs. Adetokunbo. Let's stand up. Please stand up for recognition. She's always shy, but she's the one working behind the scene for those great men of today. Thank you, ma. God bless you. Kábíyèsí, Adé apẹ́ lórí, bàtà apẹ́ lẹ́sẹ̀. Ìgbà ọdún kan, olórí á ṣiṣẹ́ ìgbé. Kábíyèsí, today is your day. Because your son is being recognized today in the capital territory of Nigeria, Abuja. And so I want to say, on behalf of the Council and entire members of the Nigerian Association of Chambers of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture, NASIMA, I extend a very welcome to all distinguished guests present at this exclusive event. It gives me great delight to warmly congratulate the 10th elected president of the ABUJA Chambers of Commerce and Industry, Prince Adetokunbo Kayode, CON, SAN, FCA, FCIT, for the mantle of leadership bestowed on him. I have no doubt that his zeal and selflessness with which he has promoted the Chamber of Commerce movement in Nigeria will likewise be applied to this new portfolio. I also congratulate the distinguished men and women elected as executive, committee and council member of the Chamber on this very special occasion of their inauguration. I must applaud the outgoing president, Mr. Tony Ejinkeoye, for the outstanding achievements that ABUJA Chambers of Commerce and Industry achieved during his tenure. Today's event provides me another opportunity to commend members of the ABUJA Chambers of Commerce and Industry ACCI for peacefully conducting their activities and their elections, which have culminated in an orderly change of baton and leadership for their illustrious chamber. Thank you for putting hands together for them. Yes. Because in some other organizations, it's not possible to hand over very well peacefully. But they have done well in line with the association bylaws. This is further affirmation of the fact that unity and peace brings about progress. It is imperative that I remind us all at this point that for the ABUJA Chambers of Commerce and Industry to continue to thrive, operate efficiently and effectively, to accomplish more outstanding goals for the benefits of the association, it is very important that the leadership receive complete and voluntary support from all members of the chamber. I therefore charge all elected executives to therefore use their election to this leadership exalted post in the chamber as a call to serve. It is also an opportunity for the leadership, which is made up of very symmetrical individuals, to selflessly and through unified actions work together towards improving the enterprises and businesses of the chamber and its members. I urge all members of the ABUJA Chambers of Commerce and Industry to continue to build on the solid foundation laid by its founding fathers and championed by NASIMA. We counsel that you continue to play your role of placing Nigeria on the track for increased and inclusive socio-economic growth and development, using public policy advocacy tools and in-depth knowledge you all have as drivers. The association, without reservation, anticipates that during the tenure of the newly elected high flyer President of the ABUJA Chambers of Commerce, Prince Adetokunbo Kayode, CON, SAN, FCIA, FCIT, the Executive Committee and Council members being inaugurated today, the ABUJA Chambers of Commerce and Industry will achieve even more remarkable increase in prestige, membership and finances. I look forward to the establishment of new ventures while the existing ones continue to thrive. The association will continue to endorse the need for a cordial relationship between members, the community, businesses, and of course the government. The Nigerian Association of Chambers of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture, NASIMA, as the premier umbrella body for all regional, state, city, bilateral and multilateral chambers of commerce, including professional and business associations in Nigeria, will continue to support the Abuja Chambers of Commerce and Industry as we continue to advocate the policies and programs that benefit the private sector and encourage the growth and development of enterprise in Nigeria. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, once again, I congratulate the newly elected President, Executive Committee and Council members of the Abuja Chambers of Commerce and Industry on this occasion of your inauguration, and wish you a fruitful tenure in office. I welcome you all. I thank you for listening, and best wishes in the new year. Thank you, and God bless you all.
You can do better for my chairman. Let's have the outgoing president's speech and also the inauguration of the president and the speech of the president. Let's welcome the outgoing president.
1st of January 2015, I stood before you here to receive the mantle of leadership of ACCI. Tonight, it is my pleasure to stand once more before you, but with the added responsibility of inaugurating the new leadership of ACCI, headed by my indefatigable Prince Adetokunbo Kayode, SAN. In the 3 years past, we as the ESCO and Council of ACCI, we have dared the status quo. We were audacious. We dreamt big. The storm was strong for us, and the waves would have daunted lesser men. But we, as ESCO and Council members of ACCI, we persevered, and with my grace, actually the people I call my grace are my ESCO members, because they are really very brave people. And with God's grace, we have this night anchored the ship of ACCI. Some of us doubted, but here we are tonight. We increased our annual turnover by over 1,200% within 3 years. Our wage bill rose from 9 million naira annually to 84 million naira annually. We were asked, how are you going to sustain this level of expenditure? But this is our 3rd year. Nobody is asking that question anymore, because we have done it. Last year, a mall and a housing estate was commissioned. And by August this year, an office complex and the biggest convention and exhibition center in Nigeria will be commissioned right here in Abuja, all by ACCI. There's a motto I have: who dares wins. We have dared and we have won. When my tenure was coming to a close, my little daughter was asking me, Dad, what do you think is the greatest achievement? What do you think that you did that made most impact in ACCI? It was a very simple answer. That if somebody like me can convince a 4-time minister and they say of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to sit in the board of ACCI and is ready to work without payment for the aspirations of ACCI, that's a very great achievement. Within these 3 years, if we have walked 10 kilometers, I expect President Adetokunbo Kayode with his team to run 100 kilometers. I will use this opportunity to also thank and appreciate all of you in one way or the other that brought us this far. I call my ESCO the Braves, but among them, I want to also use this occasion to recognize the ones in my age group I call the bravest of the braves. So can I call the DG to help me hand out the awards quickly? Is he around? If he's not around, Director Tonya, can you come around?
May I humbly invite Professor Adesoji to please come.
Prof, you are dead, you are won, you are the bravest of the brave. Thank you very much. Incidentally, he's the Vice President ICT.
Please welcome Chief Emeka Obegolu, the chairman of this planning committee.
My learned SAN in the making. You are also have dead and you have won. I call you the bravest of the brave.
Okay, this award is for Mr. Osimomo, former VP Finance. Is he around? Okay, thank you.
I also want to use this opportunity also to recognize some staff of our secretariats. They did exceedingly well. When we started, I never knew they can cope with the workload we are going to unleash on them. It is not that others did not perform, but of course in any endeavor, some people will definitely rise above their peers. So I use this opportunity to call
Esther Okezie is the secretary of the secretariat. Please come. Mrs. Esther Okezie, if you are here, come please. May I welcome Mr. Wale Olumaye. Wale, are you here? He's coming. Mrs. Cecilia Hussein, please come.
Mr. Wale, it's been an honor working with you. Is Cecilia here and Esther? So I thank you immensely for bearing with me. So I will now hand over to the MC for the next stage of this thing. But I think before I do that, I have to especially recognize some people that made these 3 years very, very eventful for us. Our past presidents, Nasema, Kano Chamber of Commerce and Lagos Chamber of Commerce especially. Then, among the embassies, within those 3 years, we worked exceedingly well with the Economic Counselor's Office of the Chinese Embassy. We worked very, very close with them. So I want us to please give them a round of applause. They did well. So I hope our new president is going to see and work better with the other embassies in Abuja here. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. Let's appreciate our past president. All right, while he remains standing here, we'd like at this time to move straight to the inauguration of the president proper. Let's make welcome Prince Adetokunbo, Adeyinka, Kayode, CON, son. And he's been decorated here this evening as the 10th president of the ABUJA Chamber of Commerce and Industry. We can do better, we can do better.
I think I will also use this opportunity to invite the national president, Kayode, and the distinguished senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Kayode, and distinguished senator Victor May to be here so that when we decorate the president of ACCI. Razak. representing Senate President, we have President too, and I representing the source for here, please. Thank you very much for coming.
You made the day up there, you continue down with us.
The permanent secretary representing the FCT, our host. Please, can he be here, please? Is he around?
Congratulations. But by the power conferred on me, as the first female national president of this great association, I am inviting the Kabiyesi to please join us here. Because Kayode has been of great immense help to his community. Kabiyesi and Olori, Mama, Emma Bo, ọmọ yín ni, ọmọ tó bá dára, òun ló máa délé lọ gbé Kábíyèsí jáde látòdìdí Ìkàrẹ́ wá sí ABUJA. Ìkàrẹ́ àkókò, Ìkàrà, Kábíyèsí ti ń bọ̀. Kábíyèsí ẹ máa bọ̀, ọmọ yín ni. So while we are standing here, you can step forward with your wife and take with your Kabiyesi, your Royal Majesty. No. Just let us be behind them. Yes. Yeah, madam? Yes. Kabiyesi ẹ máa bọ̀ mí o. You see now? Kádé kó pẹ́ lórí kí bàtà pẹ́ lẹ́sẹ̀. Ìgbà ọdún kan fún Kábíyèsí. Kábíyèsí ẹ pẹ́ fún wa. Ilẹ̀ ń fọba pé. Thank you, the Yoruba clan. Ilẹ̀ ń fọba pé. Báwo ọba láṣẹ ọba tó dádé owó. Ọba tó tẹ̀pá ìlẹ̀kẹ̀, ọba láṣẹ o. The meaning of it is, what do you really mean with our king? King, we respect our kings. That is the traditional ruler from where Kayode has his root. Thank you so much. We are grateful. Yes, sir. Let us have the Senate. Let them have theirs, and then I will now call, if you are a president of a chambers of commerce, to come out after this one.
And the latest senator is watching. Please, let's smile. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Can we?
President of Chambers of Commerce, please. Today is our day. If you are a president, just to know, come out. President of Kano, President of Yobe, I've seen you, President of Adeyinka Chambers of Commerce, all the way from Ogun State, President of Ekiti Chambers of Commerce. Yes. Quickly, let's have photograph with our man.
Now, past president of ABUJA Chamber of Commerce. The presidents are coming. Let's move on this way. All right, please put your hands together as we have the remarks, the speech of the president, 10th president of ABUJA Chamber of Commerce, Prince Kayode Adetokunbo. Sir.
Your Excellencies, the representative of the Vice President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, the representative of the Minister of FCT, the representative of the Senate President, Senator Al-Afrikiy, former Senate President, Sir Ken Namani, the Owa, Sir Emeka Ofo, Group Chairman of Chrome Group, and various other groups. Distinguished Senator Victor Ume, my good friend, Asiwaju, the Asiwaju of all the lawyers in Abuja. You are welcome, sir. He is one of the few who is at SAN, his wife is also at SAN. Mrs. Adora Ofo, my sister. There are two very special ladies here tonight whom I want to mention. The first is Kayode Lossin, National President of NASIMA, the first female president of NASIMA, a very strong and powerful lady. I have a lot of regard for her. Please let me acknowledge her. The second, of course, is my wife, whom I hardly publicly celebrate, but she knows the depth of my feelings for her. My friends from the look and planning of our country, both Nigerians and foreigners, diplomats from various countries, my colleagues in other chambers of commerce, both in Nigeria and abroad, my friends, especially my international friends, my Nigerian friends. But let me just mention Mr. Kofi Woods. Mr. Kofi Woods, the past Minister of Labour of Liberia. Please, Kofi, where are you? You're welcome. We worked together when I was Minister of Labour and we've been friends since. Actually, partly because of my relationship with him and also partly because of the grace that God gave us to assist in Liberia when I was Minister of Defense, I was given national honors in that country. So I want to appreciate all with gratitude that are gathered here today on this auspicious occasion. Let me give a bit of history. I joined this chamber in 1989. That's about 29 years ago. Most of my clients then were businessmen and contractors in the new city of ABUJA. The chamber to me provided forum for interaction, networking, and contact. Let me assure all of you, it is still the same today, almost 30 years later. And that was the beginning of my odyssey in the chamber movement. Over time, I had served in various capacities: councilman, vice president commerce, vice president industry, vice president legal services. I've also served as second deputy president and first deputy president. My election in December 2017 as president of the chamber marked an end as well as a beginning. The end of providing support services on one hand, and the beginning of opportunity for vision, leadership, and qualitative service. I'm always grateful for a chance to contribute positively to the economic development and prosperity of my country. I thank my colleagues in the chamber for the privilege, because privilege it is to lead the chamber for the next 3 years. I acknowledge my past presidents, many of whom are here today: Alhaji Sadu, Chief Okundari, Sir Peter Okolo, Otumba Adeloye, Engineer Yaba, and of course Tony, my good friend Tony Ejinkoye. As an insider, I know what the chamber the organized private sector, and the Nigerian nation require of me at this time. Let me make this solemn promise here. I will do my best, and you will all feel it, because that is what the time called for. Some months back, I was appointed by Kayode a woman in a million, current and first male president of NOSIMA, to lead the OPS, the Organized Private Sector Engagement, in trade matters with the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment. We are already doing fairly good work in that ministry, respect of ease of doing business, World Trade Organization, the African Free Trade Zone project, the enlarged national focus, and trade facilitation, and so on. In this respect, I want to acknowledge with respect and appreciation my friends and compatriots, Ambassador Kayode Osakwe, Nigeria's Chief Negotiator, Dr. Okechukwu Edalama, Minister of Industry, and Dr. Kayode, Minister of Mines, who have tried to put in place structures that enable their sectors to optimize relationships with the organized private sector. I hope to continue to work with these gentlemen and others along that line that leads to prosperity. We want to also appreciate Honorable Musa Mohammed, the FCT Minister. So, here on this day and at this hour, I accept and embrace the vision of the ABUJA Chamber of Commerce, as always, to be the leading chamber in Nigeria. We will move from an amorphous organogram to a structured organization. We are setting up a secretariat with 4 centers: Business Entrepreneurship Skills and Technology Center, we call it BEST; the ABUJA Trade and Convention Center. We are also setting up the Policy Advocacy Center, as well as the Dispute Resolution Center. I will appreciate the cooperation and goodwill of members of the chamber, as well as all present here today. But at the end of it all, I, as president, has the duty, a duty which I accept with enthusiasm and circumspection, to articulate, conceive, birth, and own the vision, and I will. Before I sit, I suppose you will want me to say a few words about policy issues that affect our economy and the way we do business in our country. After all, we are all involved in Nigerian projects, which is for good governance, welfare, and prosperity of our people. Permit me, therefore, to underscore a few points. The first is that government at all times must imbibe that ideal that governance is for the welfare of the people. And to achieve this, there must be a national vision. A government must set up its own high ideals with passion, chart a mission course to achieve that vision. I know someone may say we had the vision 2020. Now, that is, or was, a lesson vision. Yes, there was a vision 2020. It was an almost vision, which died the day it was launched. It died because the government strangely did not conceive it, did not back it, and did not own it. I know this because I was there. In all human history, no vision had ever been dreamed by a team. Never. History, which we hardly ever learn from, as well as experience, which is never our best teacher, shows that only one person, whom you may call by any name, leader, president, emperor, prophet, whatever, in non-human endeavor, at any given time, only one captures the essence, the spirit of a nation. This is the truth. We want our visionary for Nigeria. The second issue is about operationalization of the National Economic Council. The current government is the first regime to begin to give some teeth to the National Economic Council. At the state level, the State Economic Council do not exist. We advocate for this body in the states. The economy of Nigeria and that of the states has to be planned through these bodies. We want to urge both federal and state governments to fully establish and operationalize national economic councils and state economic councils. That is the body that will help plan the economy and end the practice of reaction and hawkism, where critical policies are determined more or less by panic and rule of thumb economics. Since the Constitution places responsibility squarely on the shoulders of the Vice President, we want to respectfully urge him to use all his goodwill and sagacity to get the Economic Council, both at the national level and the state level, to work. Having said this, please permit me to put on record my salutation to Professor Shibajo, the Vice President, whom I must say or note that in all our history, no Vice President has ever been more acknowledged or more respected. None has ever enjoyed better regards from the President, and very few, if any, have deserved more respect. What we did last year, when you showed Nigeria what a government can do when the heart is put into it, do again this year. The third issue I want to raise is about tactics for implementation of support for small and medium enterprises. The strategy which the government has adopted is right. We all appreciate the government's interest to support SMEs, especially on the issue of funding. But the management of SME funds by banks is a very huge issue, a weak link in the chain. We all know our banks are not structured to fund SMEs. The organized private sector is therefore ready to help canvass and develop new concepts of alternate funding mechanisms for SMEs. This will include finance leasing, peer certification for securitization of facilities, and so on. This has to be done. Another very serious issue is the need for sectoral engagement with key regulators of government agencies. Government agencies exist to make the economic system work and not the other way around. In 2017, the use of Doing Business program showed government in very different and positive light. It showed that government cared for the economy and the well-being of the people. And international recognition came by way of promotion in the 2017 Ease of Doing Business Index, where Nigeria made appreciable progress in that regard. This achievement we all celebrated, but there's still a few more rivers to cross. The government must escalate the program and reform in all sectors of the economy and make deliberate effort to review all areas of interaction with the public. The pervasive and excessive emphasis by government agencies on revenue collection must end. All these agencies have their core mandates. We want agencies in 2018 and beyond to concentrate on their core functions, which is to support and thrive enterprises rather than bringing demand for payment. All this makes doing business very harrowing and unprofitable. It is unacceptable for a people to pay for compliance with the law. Agencies ought to make it easier, cheaper to obey the law, then make breaking the law very expensive. It is not that this is new. It has been on for long, even before this government, but it is getting worse. And what is wrong is wrong. Now we are ready to make 2018 the year of constructive engagement with government. The President of Nasima, Yalo Jalabalosin, is leading the way for a new rapprochement with government for economic development of our country, and we are all in alignment with this. Finally, esteemed ladies and gentlemen, it is fitting that this inauguration is taking place this month of January. January is a month of reflection on the past, made with hope and optimism for the future. This ritual of looking forward and backward exemplifies the month named after Janus, the Roman god of the beginnings and endings. I don't know whether you studied Roman mythology, but Janus has two heads. You can see the front and the back, inside and outside, simultaneously. without turning around. He guides travelers along the correct route, and the doorkeeper of the heavens opens gates of opportunity, progress, and achievement. So, let me pray that for you and also for me, this January will open all the doors of good tidings to us all. I thank you very much for coming, and God's bounteous grace support us. Thank you.
Please, that hand clap is not presidential enough. Put your hands together for the 10th president, the ABUJA Chambers of Commerce. Praise Adetokunbo, Adeyinka, Kayode, Commander of the Niger, a Senior Advocate of Nigeria. Please put your hands together for him once again as you take the seat.
The topic that I've come up with is the rise of political entrepreneurs and the disruptors of Nigeria. Professor Klaus Schwab, the founder of the World Economic Forum, said of the many diverse and fascinating challenges that we face today, the most intense and fascinating challenge that we face is how to understand and shape new technology revolution, which entails nothing less than the transformation of humankind. Major advances in the use of technology are disrupting economic, political, and social norms today. And politicians nowadays are either rushing to address major challenges or, at worst, not able to act at all. To ensure that these technological advances translate to progress for the nation, a new generation of talented and technologically savvy people will have to rise to the challenge. Politics has been defined as a means of utilizing power to make decisions to address society's problems. Today, politics requires having to resolve complex issues and take decisions about matters such as equitable allocation of resources, poverty alleviation, climate change, and insecurity. The political landscape now faces more disruptive elements than in the past decades, and this can alter the political climate of many countries, including Nigeria. Political leaders and their parties are now shifting into new policy spaces previously held in check by competing interest groups who have compromised on policy and ideology to ensure a cohesive and sustainable governing platform. Political leaders now bring promises of change for their constituents, and many of their campaigns in recent times involve the application of entrepreneurial skills similar to those employed by politicians like Macron, who used the same skills to set up a political party when he won the presidential elections in 2017. Values and ethics also play a very important role in politics. The younger generation, particularly in Europe, have started to flirt with certain force-based environmental and humanitarian agendas. Recently, New Zealand elected Jacinda Ardern, a young lady, as their Prime Minister, and Austria also elected the youngest world leader, the 31-year-old Sebastian Kurz, as their Chancellor. So what are political entrepreneurs? Political entrepreneurs are professionals who create ideas and innovations and who move into the political arena and act as new leaders in the field of politics. These are individuals and groups who seek to improve the science of the art of politics through disruption. The founders of movements such as the capitalists, Marxist, futurist movements were all political entrepreneurs of their time. These were people who came up with ways to solve political problems in terms of political philosophy, political technology, political campaigns, and governance. Today, we're seeing new movements and new communities rising in response to the challenges of the technological revolution. For example, Uber drivers have organized through WhatsApp to take on their employers in response to their pay and employment status. In Nigeria today, Budget, which is a civic startup, presents public data in a user-friendly way so citizens can understand national and state budgets and also use information to demand for good governance. There is also Tracker, which is a community tracking system which helps citizens follow and track capital projects in Nigerian communities. Nigeria is in need of a new generation of political entrepreneurs. Nigeria is no different when it comes to societal changes, which are occurring due to the technological revolution. We need a new generation of political entrepreneurs to tackle the unique problems that come with technological revolution. We have to find ways to deal with fake news, which distort democratic debates. We have to find ways to deal with the threats of cybersecurity, the misuse of citizens' data, and also the use of technology to infringe citizens' privacy. To build this new generation of political entrepreneurs, we must encourage wider participation of new talent in politics. In Nigeria, the membership of political parties is less than 5% of the voting population. The trust in political institutions has decreased, and many people are dissatisfied with the status quo. Instead of maintaining status quo and doing things out of habit, we really should start to encourage creativity and innovation. To make progress as a nation, I believe that we require the emergence of political entrepreneurs who will develop new ideas, who will come up with new policies and visions and civic actions that will ensure that the advances in science and technology will also translate into prosperity for our nation. This will entail a process of expanding political party membership, of creating awareness of future political entrepreneurs, of persuading the current political leaders to embrace the changes that are happening in science and technology. We should evolve a new creed to guide leaders of all political shades in this era. And then I want to quickly talk about the Revive Nigeria Group. The Revive Nigeria Group is a group of The Revive Nigeria Group is a group of like-minded and reform-minded individuals who have come together to brainstorm on practical solutions to guide Nigeria at a time of turmoil and uncertainty. The RNG, that is the Revive Nigeria Group, is a movement of true, purposeful, and participatory change in Nigeria. At its liberal core is the need to disrupt the political purpose and process in order to find sustainable solutions to the diverse challenges that are preventing inclusive growth and development in this country. The Revive Nigeria Group will create a structure for political entrepreneurs with the leadership credentials and the know-how to participate in politics. The RNG believes that having people who share its values and ideology actively involved in political governance is critical to reclaiming Nigeria's lost glory. The vision of the group is to create a united Nigeria with shared values where social justice and fairness supersedes individual interests. The mission of the Revive Nigeria Group is to promote good governance, support economic empowerment, and advocate for social justice and national unity. The vision and mission of the Revive Nigeria Group are centered on the belief that a fair and just society is central to creating shared values and a sense of belonging for all Nigerians, irrespective of ethnicity, tribe, or religion. This vision can only be achieved by making sure that people with intellectual capacity and tested leadership credentials with a sense of service are involved in political governance. The main objectives of this group is to create a sense of shared values among Nigerians and also to champion and sustain a common national identity. So in conclusion, I'll just say a little bit about the challenges. The RNG will definitely face the same issues and challenges as other movements or political parties, which is how to develop sound and rational policies which are likely to hold a broad coalition as possible. We will face very specific challenges in attempting to balance our desire for real disruption with the vested interests of members of the group. Finally, we must sustain momentum in order to avoid inertia, which is very common in Nigeria. To close, I wish to remind all of us in this room, I wish to remind everybody in this room, especially the entrepreneurs and the businessmen, that at a time like this, the nation needs you. The nation needs you, and it behoves on you to be actively involved in political process. And finally, I would like to propose a toast to a revived, can I propose a toast now? Everybody, could you lift your glasses? I'd like to propose a toast. So I'd like to praise the president of the new president of the chamber. I'd like to propose a toast to the new chamber, the new president of the Chamber of Commerce. I wish you success as you take on this role, and I hope for a revived Chamber of Commerce. Thank you very much. Thank you and good evening.
All right. Once again, congratulations. Praise Adetokunbo, Adeyinka, Kayode, CON San. Your inauguration as the 10th president of ABUJA Chamber of Commerce. Please, if you're not requesting too much, let's clap for him once again. And now I would like to have up the speech of our special guest of honor, the Senate President, representing the House here this evening by distinguished Senator Fatima Raji Rasaki. Please put your hands together for her as she steps forward to deliver the speech of the Senate President.
Permit me to stand on the existing protocol, please. It is my pleasure and honor to be at this glittering location, which marks another milestone in the career of an illustrious professional and public servant, one who has acquitted himself well on many national assignments. I'm talking, of course, of today's inauguration of Prince Adetokunbo, Adeyinka, Ademola, CON. As the 10th President of the ABUJA Chamber of Commerce and Industry, I thank the ACCI for inviting me to this event. Let me congratulate the Council, the Executive, the members, partners and management of the ABUJA Chamber of Commerce and Industry for the successful change of party and for today's inauguration of the new President. Indeed, I cannot think of many persons who can be described as better prepared or better placed for the role at this time than the eminent Prince Adetokunbo Kayode, a former Attorney General of the Federation and a cabinet minister many times over. I congratulate him on this achievement. I have no doubt that he will bring his extensive experience and insight to bear on the activities of the ACCI during his tenure. I note, for example, that the new president has introduced quarterly meetings for members of the chambers to discuss matters of interest. I urge you all to see this inauguration as an opportunity to bring the chamber to a new level of success, productivity, and relevance for the benefit of our economy. Ladies and gentlemen, this inauguration also presents the opportunity to redouble effort to stimulate greater private sector participation in the economic direction of this country. We in the 8th National Assembly have for some time now pursued an economic legislative agenda to promote economic growth, and much of that effort is geared towards strengthening the role of the private sector and boosting investors' confidence. As I'm sure you will agree, we are already beginning to reap some of the rewards of that drive. One of our primary objectives as a legislator is to reduce government intervention in sectors that are traditionally guided by market forces. The reform agenda that we have embarked on will help create more industries needed for job growth and economic stability, so that we can truly say with confidence that we are delivering on the dividends of democracy to Nigerians. To this end, several of the Senate priority economic bills are making their way to final passage in both chambers of the National Assembly. Let me assure that we are fully committed to this economic legislative agenda, and we are confident that with your active support and collaboration, Nigeria is well on the way to economic recovery. Let me also assure you that we stand ready, as always, to support and partner with the ABUJA Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not a night for long speeches. Let me round up by congratulating once more the 10th ACCI President on this great achievement. I wish you a successful tenure, and may this inauguration herald a new era of success for the ACCI. Thank you all, and welcome from President of the Senate. Thank you.
Right, thank you very much, Senator Fatimat Rajiv Asake, and then who delivered the speech of the Senate President. And next, in our goodwill message here this evening, let's have the Honorable Minister for Communications, Adebayo Chito. Please put your hands together for the Honorable Minister as he gives his goodwill message here this evening. Our chairman, after that, our chairman has the gift. Please put your hands together for the Honorable Minister, Communications.
Good evening to everybody. I want to use this opportunity to congratulate my friend and brother who has been sworn in today and is being here inaugurated as the 10th President of ABUJA Chamber of Commerce. I'm congratulating him because he's coming in at the right time. We know very well that he has passion for development. He has passion for industrialization. He has passion for industry. He himself has attested to the very enviable record of the current government in place. It is true that government has no business in business. It is also true that the business of government is to provide an enabling environment for industry to thrive. I want to assure him on behalf of government that he will have all the support that he will require to ensure that industrialization progresses to his taste. I want to congratulate him again. He is, in the history of Nigeria, the first senior advocate to become president of the Chamber of Commerce. I think this would assist him to be able to make a whole difference in his job as the new president of ABUJA Chamber of Commerce. I want to congratulate all of us again for being part of this very unique occasion, and I pray that all of us will continue to enjoy the favor of God. Thank you so much. May God bless all of you.
All right, thank you very much, Honorable Minister for Communications, Adebayo Chito, there for that goodwill message. And now our chairman, Kayode Alabalosi, MFI, has the presentation. Mommy will step forward. Kayode of Yoruba land. Kayode is here. The presentation of gifts.
On behalf of my president, the Kayode of the universe, this MC is going to be devoted. He has been saying Kayode of Africa. And we are of the universe. We have a presentation for the new president of ABUJA Chamber of Commerce. He has been a very close friend of ours. He has always been with us. He has helped us a lot. He's still helping us. you know him to have a wealth of experience all over. So that which we have, he gives to us. And we want to show our appreciation to him this evening. So our President, Kayode of Alabama, and the entire members of NASIMA wish to present you this token of our appreciation. Congratulations, sir. Where's the MC?
Present it first now. Yes, so
this MC help us unwrap it so that people will see what is inside, and the yellow they will tell us the story behind the meaning behind it.
Father Lord, Kayode brought it, gave it to Prince Adetokunbo. Now they say I shall wrap it. Father Lord, I don't know what is inside. If it is, go ahead.
To our own TK, as we popularly call him, the man of the people and the man of the moment, on behalf of our president, the Kayode and of the universe, and members of ESCO, we heartily present this to you and wish you good luck. Thank you.
And then Tony, come over here. You can see the voice of a teacher. Wow. An eagle, of course. Eagle. This means Adetokunbo Kayode. We continue to rise up like an eagle and fly high. He will not be weary nor tired. He has done it 4 times as the minister, now as the president of the National ABUJA Chambers of Commerce. This defeats ego, wealth, and power. So, this is for you, from us all in NASIMA. Yes. Madam, come and stand beside your husband, beside every successful man. That is a dependable woman. Yes. And the next one, they have unwrapped it. Time means eternity. It's eternity. So, we are saying for eternity, the Lord will be with you. He will continue to be your shepherd. That is our love and wishes for you from NASIMA. Thank you. God bless you. He deserves it. Can we give him a round of applause? Thank you. Yes, Tony, this is a little one for you. You have done well in the office. So this is our token. We want you to go there and refresh yourself. God bless you. So when we get to China, we know that meaning. That is the brain of Tony. So, come over. The speech image, I want you to come as well. Come. Oya, come over. Oya. I want you to see the split image of our president. The split image. You see? Can we put our hands together for our president? God bless you. The Lord will be with you. Your daddy has made a name. I want you to please keep it up. Good name is better than riches. And for what you have seen here this evening, you can know that everybody is proud of Prince Kayode Adetokunbo, your father. God bless you all. Thank you. God bless you all. So Are, come here, come and take some photographs here. Stand with him. Yes, so, Did they join us now? You see this Igbo man? Igbo.
Alright, Soji. you can see this how to look like your dad. You can see the carbon copy of our celebrant. Thank you, sir. He looks so much like the dad. All of these look the same. The only difference between them is their account balance. ESCO members, please.
And I have the first deputy president, ABUJA Gumi. Second deputy president, Chief Sir Emeka Obegolu. Vice President Legal, Dr. Buhari Bello. The Vice President Media, Iyoku Mary Jude. Professor Adeyinka, Vice President Best. Where are the other members? Vice President Industry, Engineer Taiwo, VP Mines, Mrs. Umosu, Dr. Johnson, VP Commerce, Alhaji Bahrami. Are we complete now? Who is missing? Alhaji Abdultaba. Well, it happens that the old president, or who we call the IPP, immediate past president, is actually a member of this executive, Dr. Kola Walker. Mr. President, do you want to join us? Please. We don't want Emeka to oppress us with his height. I know you are taller than him. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you the national, well, not national, really, the executive committee of the ABUJA Chamber of Commerce. We cover all aspects of business. And we assure you that we deliver on the mandates of the chamber, the vision to be the best chamber in this country. In this regime, we will do it. Thank you very much. Now we have 15 council members, that is the board of the chamber. May I then respectfully invite all the 15 council members, Dr. Lady Hong, I'll just call the Dr. Sherry, but it's a small D. Gordon Okeke, Anene. Please, all of you, just come up. Elder Oluwatari Bello, the founder of CITEC, founder and primate of CITEC State, Dr. Sunday Kayode. There are 15 members of the council and 11 members of the ESCO.
Just tactically maneuver as well. All right, please put your hands together for them. Thank you very much. Congratulations.
The like the first thing, what we quickly make some presentation. We have been fit to exercise our powers as president to appoint some honorary council members. The first is Mr. Onyeka Kuma. Mr. Onyeka Kuma, is he here? He is CEO of a company called Farm Crowd. I don't know whether you've heard of them, but it's a base sector company working in the agri sector, using technology to help to drive agriculture in Nigeria. Congratulations. We are inviting you to our council because we believe you add value. You are welcome, please. Thank you. The second person is Mr. Aminu Akadiri. Mr. Aminu Akadiri is the Chief Executive Officer of FEWASI. Mr. Aminu Akadiri is the Chief Executive Officer of FEWASI. We appoint him as a honorary council member. FEWASI is the Federation of West African Chambers of Commerce. They are based in ABUJA. Mr. Akadiri is from Benin Republic, but he speaks Yoruba better than me. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we are appointing him as the honorary council member of ABUJA Chambers. We know, our members know why this is being done because it can add a lot of value to us. In addition to that, we also appoint him as our ambassador of commerce. Our ambassador of commerce for ABUJA Chamber of Commerce. Congratulations. So anytime you hear me say Ambassador Aminu, you know who I'm talking about. May I respectfully invite Aisha Waziri Umar, our chief guest speaker. Aisha Waziri Umar is a great Nigerian. We believe she will go very far in this country and want to be part of our success story. We're proud to have you as the honorary council member. Congratulations. We have also approved the appointment of the Chief Kayode, President, Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria. President, Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria, Chief Kayode as a honorary council member. He is being represented by the chairman of ABUJA branch. Thank you very much for your attention. I assure you that further appointments shall be made as deemed necessary. The vote of thanks, and the Director General of the Chamber will do the vote of thanks. Vote of thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, the night is been spent well. On behalf of our President, the Executive Council, the council themselves, members, I want to say thank you very much for coming. Many of you came from outside ABUJA. Many of you came from all walks of life. You came just to honor our president and to honor ABUJA Chamber of Commerce. We say thank you very much. As you go, we ask that God will go with you and you will reach safely to your various destinations. May God bless you all, and thank you very much for coming. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. And with that vote of thanks from the DG, ABUJA Chambers of Commerce and Industry, Chijoke Ikechukwu Esquire, this comes to the end of the event. Thank you very much. See you next time. Have a wonderful night rest.